Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello, I'm Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
We just got done watching Point of No Return, episode 9 of season 3 of Babylon 5, and it is time to babble for 5. This episode is probably the most appropriately titled episode ever. We have reached the breaking point where people have to take sides, the biggest one of all so far perhaps being Zack Allen.
Poor dude got to take a side, and he ends up taking, we think, the right side.
Right.
His conscience was at the point of no return. He was at a breaking point personally.
A lot of people made that choice in this episode. I think this is a good demonstration of just how easily people's loyalties can turn just at the very moment of a little bit of pressure. That's why we have things happen like Nazi concentration camps and people saying, I was just doing my job.
The job of whom, right? Whose job? Who are you going to be loyal to?
I think as humans, it's very easy to cave into that pressure. It's really hard to fight because it could mean making a huge sacrifice. Speaking of sacrifice, how about those Narns? They are willing to put themselves on the front lines. They are seeing beyond themselves now with Jakar as their leader.
There was a certain point in this episode when he said he needed to have the humans be the key. I didn't read that at the time as alliance. I read that as deception and destruction. That somehow the Narns were going to take advantage of humans. Clearly by the end of it, that had changed.
They need all the help they can get.
And they're working security as part of now Earth Force, which has an agreement with Centauri.
Yeah, how's this gonna go down? Even Lady Morella's kind of look of unease when she sees Talon in the lift. There's still some tension there, and then if the Earth and Narn are cooperating, what does that mean? Especially for Babylon 5.
Yeah, there is no one moment in something like this. It's a collection of decisions, and if I may segue.
Please.
It's a collection of decisions, Londo.
Yeah, Londo. Now, before we get to Londo, because we got to discuss that for sure, I want to talk about Franklin for just a quick second. He's kind of got this attitude that, things are going to blow over, it's going to calm down, things are going to be fine. I think that is a part of how things get worse in a situation like this. And it just keeps escalating. That does not solve any problems. Things don't calm down. And I think he's so very wrong.
You get used to a new normal.
Yes, that's another part of it.
There's a big step up. And then, this is just normal. And then there's a big step up. This is just normal now. We are very adaptable. And sometimes we forget that.
And I think for somebody like Franklin, he's just, I think, a little too optimistic for the situation at hand.
Don't forget, too, that Franklin's on drugs right now. That has to help.
Now to Londo. We have Lady Morella, played by the fantastic Majel Barrett, also known as Gene Roddenberry's wife, the creator of Star Trek, making a guest appearance on Babylon 5. And apparently she's a prophetess. Has some words for Londo. He's exhausted 2 of his 3 options to change course, meaning he's got one more chance.
I think that was always his big fear, that he didn't have a choice, that he was eternally damned. And I think he got exactly what he wanted out of this visit.
I got the opposite.
Really?
Yes, I think up to this point, Londo has felt like he has accepted the fact that he's kind of damned. And the fact that he may have, in fact, one more chance, I think scares the bejesus out of him because he's chosen poorly so far down the line here that when presented with this opportunity, 1, will he recognize it? And 2, will he choose correctly?
This episode's full of one-liners.
Oh my goodness, especially just even from Lady Morella.
Right, and one of her one-liners was something to the effect of, fate is, not taking responsibility for the choices we've already made. Something to that effect. Right? You just watched the episode or you've seen it before. You know what's going on. And that, I think, was scarier to Londo than anything. Fate didn't damn him. Londo damned Londo. Well, unless we forget, now he's got competition for the Emperor's spot.
I love this so much.
Emperor Veer. Oh my gosh.
Emperor Veer. Well, he seems to be screwing up his reports from Minbar, apparently, according to Londo.
Yes. Propaganda's not dead, y'all.
Speaking of quotable lines, Sheridan says one of my absolute favorites in this episode, and he says, always plant a lie inside of a truth. And, I mean, that's executed to perfection here.
I don't know that it did anything more than buy time, but I am glad that for once it was Jakar who had the idea. one other line kicked off the episode.
Yeah.
Which is, what does intelligence have to do with politics?
It has nothing to do with politics. Boy, isn't that the truth.
One of my favorite episodes so far.
Yeah? Nice.
Absolutely.
That's really cool to hear. Yay!
Yeah, I'm digging it. Let's get to the next one.
All right, and with that, why don't we? Let's go watch the next episode, because I'm pretty pumped right now.
Yeah, let's do it. But before we watch the next one, we're going to post this video.
That's right.
And we want you to like and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And definitely leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on where we're going in season 3, especially if you're a newbie like me who's going through this for the very first time. Love to hear what you have to say. You old vets,
you know what's going to happen.
You know what's coming. And, and maybe you can laugh at me a little bit. It's okay.
You know, our vets are very, very gracious most of the time. And we thank you for that. We appreciate you not spoiling anything that happens after this episode. We'll come back after we've watched the next episode, Severed Dreams.
Till then.